Next player up in the film room is Georgia Bulldogs Leonard Floyd. He's primarily considered an edge defender, but he's played all over the field. He draws a lot of comparisons to one of my favorite Bills, Manny Lawson. He put together a solid 3-year career with 184 tackles, 17.5 sacks, 28.5 tackles for loss. Last year, he had 74 tackles, 10.5 for loss, 4.5 sacks, and 46% of his tackles were from the 0 to 2 yard box. So that's definitely what you want to see from a linebacker. So go ahead and bring up some of the film here. I'll be covering some of his strengths and weaknesses on film and doing it live here. So bear with me. Some of his strengths are his explosive first step. He is a very long defender, and you'll see that on film. He has an array of pass rush moves. They're not totally refined yet, but he's got a good swim, rip move, double swipe, and he challenges the tackle upfield and then cuts back inside, which is one of his popular moves. He can play man or zone coverage. He opens his hips really well. And one of the things that he excels at when he is attacking the quarterback is that he shrinks the surface area. And by that I mean he shrinks the surface area. He gets skinny through the hole, like they say. It makes it very difficult on blockers to get their hands inside of him. Now, some of his weaknesses, he's got a really thin frame. Doesn't have the thickness or density that you want to see in a linebacker. He has, relatively weak lower body strength. He doesn't have a strong base or backside, so he's not known as a thumper. That's why he's probably going to be playing on the edge as an off-the-ball linebacker or defensive end in a 4-3. He also needs to work on setting his edge versus linemen. He did a pretty good job of using his length versus tight ends, but versus tackles in the NFL, he may have some trouble. So let me go ahead and bring up the film here. Alright, so as you can see, he's 6'6" and 244 pounds. He has an arm length of 33 1/8. Really big hands, 10 1/8 is what you want to see. He ran a 40-yard dash at 4.6, vertical jump of 39.5, and a broad jump of 127. You'll see this spider graph is courtesy of mockdraftable.com. You can go on there and mess around with it. You can change up in the top right corner. You can change how he compares to former linebackers, former defensive ends, and stuff like that. So you can see he compares to Scott Fujita from 2002 at right around 84%, and number 2 is Manny Lawson from 2006 at 82%. So he has really good measurables, good metrics. Still can add some weight to his frame. As I said, those are his career numbers, and these are his career numbers for 2015. All right, so I'm gonna be showing 4 games here, and I just grabbed clips from each of them. The first one's gonna be Auburn. Second one's going to be Alabama. Third one's going to be Clemson, and then Vanderbilt. I like to try to use 3 to 4 games to get an idea of what kind of player we're looking at. So in this Auburn game, he had 6 tackles, 3 pressures, and 1 sack. All right, so right off the bat, one of his weaknesses, you'll see it here. He has a good pad level on this play, but you'll still see the defender meets his pad level and still is able to drive him back. I mean, he plays away from him, but you see he just doesn't anchor down quite as well or as consistent as you'd like as for an outside backer that's going to be setting the edge a lot. So, but this is his bread and butter. He's a good pass rusher and uses his motor. Sets the tackle up upfield. And like I said, he sees the quarterback hit the top of his drop. Eyes on the QB, cuts back inside and just powers through the tackle. You'll see it from another angle here. Sets upfield, sees the top of the drop, rips inside. All right, so take into account 3rd and 14 here. You see in the top left is 3rd and 14, first quarter. Auburn fakes the jet sweep here, and you have Floyd right here. All right, so watch what happens. Watch the left tackle here. Watch what he does. He blocks. All right, he blocks down. He blocks the second level, and you see Floyd has the jump. He's thinking it's pass. All right, so I won't ding him too much on this play because he gets upfield, but the play blows right by him. I mean, 3rd and 14 from the 12-yard line. He's expecting pass, but you would like to see him read his keys a little more. If you watch the tackle and the guard, they're blocking down. What you'd like to see him do, you'll see on the next play here. Now here's it's a little more manageable. 2nd and 8, so there is a chance of run, right? On this play, he squeezes down. The tackle blocks. He sees the tackle blocks, squeezes the gap, chases down the line of scrimmage. That's what you want to see from him. If a tackle blocks down or a guard blocks down, you're watching the flow of the play to the backfield, you want to see that guy squeeze the gap. Now, I did say, he's got really long arms, and you can see he uses them here. I mean, the play's not to him, but it plays away. You can see he's got good pad level on this play, but even with that, he still loses 2-yard ground on the tackle. Now he's really natural in coverage, and he has such a long stride. You see him cover it. Look how deep he gets on this pass. Gets to deep flats. I mean, it's natural. It's natural movement for him. And I'll let this one play just because you can show his first step. And there's a few of these clips, so you'll see how quick he is off the ball. And here he is in a 2-point stance, obvious passing situation. Doesn't get to him, but he does force a quarterback out of the pocket. Here's another speed move and a decent dip. It's definitely something he can work on, because if he can, with his upfield burst, if he can get that dip and rip refined, he'll do some damage on 3rd downs. See him, decent bend, turns a corner. He's got the tackle. Now you just got to work on that bend, that dip, and rip in here. Now here's a run play, and this is why I like this Auburn game, because they do a lot of power, a lot of inside zone, very run-oriented, and a lot of misdirection. So they send the jet sweep here. Fake it to him as QB keeper. And what I liked about this play and why I kept it, so you see him read. He reads run, so he squeezes the gap. But look at him drop his hips. He's waiting. He knows that tackle block down. Usually when that tackle blocks down, you have a blocker coming at you, and that's exactly what happened here. Right guard pulls, he sinks his hips, waiting for the blocker, and makes a play. Alright, this is probably the most explosive play that I've seen on film for him. Now I'm going to let it play. Watch. You can see him timing the snap here. Watch how much quicker he is off the ball compared to the other 3 defensive linemen. That's the kind of get off you want to see, especially when you watch that Super Bowl last year. You saw Von Miller. I'm not saying he's Von Miller, but he does have that explosive first step that teams are definitely keeping an eye on in this draft. Here he actually does a decent job of shedding and making the tackle. Just a base block by the tackle. It's actually a run stunt too, so he's taking on this tackle, and he's got an outside defender here to help him out, keep the edge. Does a good job using his arms and length to shed that block. And now, like I said earlier about Manny Lawson, this guy Floyd is a really versatile athlete, so they can put him in the slot like we do with Manny, and here they bring a field blitz, and you just see that swipe. I mean, it's out of control, but you can't tell me that quarterback didn't possibly feel that pressure, see him coming late out of his peripheral. Not perfect, but he can definitely improve. All right, in this Bama game, of course, they always have big offensive linemen. They have studs at every position. So he did struggle a little bit in this game, and I did expect that coming into it. He only had 4 tackles and 1 pressure. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some of this film. All right, he he loves to do the double-handed swipe, all right? Similar to like Kevin Dodd for Clemson. See him blitz off the edge here, just swipes him. I mean, he's not making a play on the ball, but coming full speed off the edge like that, and it's a split zone concept where this tight end's coming across. You can see him staring him down. To pick him up last second like that and to avoid it, it's something he tends to do. He's not a guy who prefers to take on blocks. He'd rather use his quickness and short area burst to make a play. Here it's 3rd and 1. They're expecting runs, so they're stacking the box. Does a good job of crashing down, taking on 2 blockers. Henry cuts it back, and there's so much penetration that they make the stop in the backfield. Good run blitz by Georgia. All right, this play, the defense is, they have them in the slot, and they're pattern matching. So you'll see the stacked receivers here, and eventually what happens here is Floyd carries this wide receiver down over the middle. I mean, the ball's completed, but he does a good job of carrying him down the field. Doesn't have much help from the safety. This double high zone coverage up top, but I mean, the reason he gets beat is his recognition is late. He's trying to get down the patterns, and you can see him just peek right here. Okay, where are they going? Trying to figure that out. It's too late. Receivers are already going to blow by him. If you're even, you're leaving, and exactly what number 16 does. Floyd does a good job of trailing, and the quarterback just makes a good throw, puts it just out of reach. All right, obviously he's not a run defender, but on this play he does a decent job of keeping his eyes in the backfield, disengaging, and helping make the tackle. Yeah, it's a few yards downfield, but he only had 9 stuffs in 2015. It's another swipe move that he tries. He's lined up at inside back, right? All right, he's right here. 2nd and 9. They have nickel in. You'll see he does a good job. He avoids the block. So that's definitely why he's not going to be playing inside. He avoids the block there. But that puts him out of position to make the tackle. You'll see him right here. Big boy Henry plows him over. At times he'll come off the edge and get washed down. He's in pretty good shape here. Tight ends picks him up. He attempts to keep his leverage on the tight end, and the running back just makes a nice play and bounces it outside. So he lost contain on this play, but defenses they rallied to the ball. Well, he got ran over before. He does learn from the mistake. I mean, although it is downfield, you see him pursue, chop the guy's legs out from under him. Not the prettiest tackler. He's a chase, pursuit tackler. He's not a thumper. All right, so here's a 3rd game, Clemson from 2014. He has a good job here. He's got his eyes in the backfield. Using his length, although the offensive, I think it's the tight end there, has his hands inside of Floyd, so he's got really good position. He's locked in on Floyd. Floyd bench presses him, swims through it, and creates a pressure on the quarterback, who's rolling out right into him. Now, he does have decent change of direction skills. You see him here. Sets him up outside, and they run a little game. I do like his lateral agility. Can be improved. It's something he can work on, but when you see him in coverage, it's too natural. I mean, especially his own coverage. He just covers so much ground with his stride and his length, being as tall as he is. was talking earlier about how he shrinks the surface area, blocking area. Watch this play. And you'll see it from another angle. That swim move right off the bat. Double A gap blitz. And they just create havoc up the middle here. And he did this a few times on tape that I watched. And you'll see him. He's actually right here in this A gap. As soon as that center, there's no way. He's so quick. It's a tough block. See him swim through it and help get the sack. Now, I mean, his bend isn't what you would like in a first rounder, but I mean, compared to some of the other edge defenders, he's pretty good. Again, if he could just rip through it a little better, and I think he would be there, no problem. Here's a good run play by him. Shows good technique inside the 5. Again, they try to attack him with a kick pull here from the left guard. 77's coming out here. You'll see him recognize the play, get downhill, takes on the blocker with his proper shoulder, leaves his outside arm free, forces him inside, and I think he even fumbles it at the end of the play here, but they make the stop. You can see he doesn't have the back end of the leg frame or leg strength to be a force in the run game. You see the blocker here just mauls him back. Go back there because I mean he's in a pretty good position. He sinks his hips, ready to explode, and then that blocker is just lower than him. You see him, he's standing straight up, he gets lit up here. And that's why the blocker pushes him back. His motor is probably his #1 asset. He's just relentless. Here he blitzes through the A gap again. He just creates pressure on the quarterback. Watch him shrink through that hole. Get skinny. Forces the quarterback to pull it down. A better angle. Doesn't have a wide frame. He is, he's thin, and he uses it well, shaking and stuttering on those pass rushes. Here's a really good play by him here too. Puts it all together. It's one thing. I mean, consistency. Consistently doing this. One thing, but man, he shows flashes of it. See him use that first step. Boom, he's off the ball, setting up the tackle. It's a swim and rip right to the quarterback, causes the fumble. You'll see it at a better angle here. See him knock down the hands of the right hand of the tackle right there, and then rip right through it. Those long arms help him when, for strip sacks, stuff like that. There's another pressure by him. They try throwing the screen, but if you just watch the right tackle, it's not like the tackle pulled out. He was trying to pick him up and hold that edge. And there's a nice stutter step. It's very subtle, but right there, you see there's a little, it's very similar to what Chandler Jones does with New England, or did with New England. So you stutter inside, swim rip outside. It's a pretty move. All right, the last game was from 2015 against Vanderbilt. He had 7 tackles, 6 pressures, and half a sack. This game, primarily, most of the clips are him in coverage. He did a really good job. He looked very comfortable in coverage here, so take a look at it. 1st and 15, looks like they're in nickel package. He just turns and runs with that tight end. You'll see him just turn and run. I think there's another camera angle of it. There he is. Watch the change of direction here. Tight end breaks in, he opens his zips, and just swings them open to the middle of the field. Here he uses a nice inside move. 2015 he had 32 pressures. That was 9th best. You'll see him do a nice swim move inside here. Sets him up outside. Too easy. Here he attacks Bulldogs looking in a 3-4 versus a 3-by-1 wide receiver set. You see him attack. I mean, he uses the angle here. He doesn't go wide, he just tightens. He knows the quarterback's gonna be hitting the top of his drop, so he finds that aiming point, goes for it. Causes an incompletion. See that what I'm saying? If he can get that rip right there, if he can get that rip going, gain some more strength, even through, I mean, lower body strength will help him here. You know, be able to explode and power through this. He could become a force. Another good swim move for the sack. 4-man rush. He had this tackle inside all day. Heck of a play. Surprised they didn't give this tackle more help in this game, honestly. That jump cut inside, it's pretty. Again, when he does that, you see how hard it is to block. Even if that tackle isn't leaning like that, he just gets so skinny through the gap. It's a tough block. It's tough to get inside him and lock on. Here he has a nice little run fill. Gets lower than the running back. Recognizes the play, sees the window open. It's low, drops his hips, and then just explodes. Oh, that hesitation move, that little stutter step, I'm telling you, it could be very dangerous at the next level. Really good swim move, too. Watch him carry this seam down the sideline, or 9 route down the sideline. Pretty good. Makes it look easy. Turns and runs. Squeezes them to the boundary. Incomplete pass. There's that jump again. 3rd and 9. He knows it's pass. 3-by-1 wide receiver set. Look at that jump. Left tackle does a good job of resetting and just stringing them wide. There's another coverage play. Nothing special, but just showing that he can open those hips and run with the tight ends. Excuse me. Alright, in 2015 he was targeted 15 times, only allowed 8 passes to be completed, and 76 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And he just, these kind of formations, he can carry that number 3 receiver or tight end, no problem, whether it's man or zone. Does a good job. This is one of the games I actually saw a bull rush from him. He used every other move in this game, and so I'm not surprised that he tried this. You see that tackle? He's kind of high, so he knows he's got him off balance, and then just explodes through him. Didn't see it often. This was the only game I really caught it, but I think he was feeling it this game. He used a few different moves. There's that swipe move again. I mean, doesn't cause a disruption or anything like that, but something he has in the arsenal. Now if he can, execute that move, plant that left foot right here, and explode to the quarterback, it's a whole nother level. he is, 4-man rush. You see him just blow by the tackle here. Just too fast for that guy. Causes the interception. You see what happens to the tackle here. He peeks inside. That peek inside definitely gave Floyd the edge. Last play here is that stutter step. That's pretty. That's so tough to block just because as an offensive tackle, he's so worried about that speed rush. He's kick sliding and anticipating that quick slide, kick slide and speed rush up the field. Well, that change of pace, that change of speed, that lineman has to reset his base, reset his feet, and even his hands. And obviously had trouble on this play. Well, that's pretty much all I got for Leonard Floyd. I'll go ahead and I would definitely I think Floyd is a late first round pick. But because of the lack of depth at the edge position, primarily the pass rushing position, I think he'll probably go earlier. He's projected to go earlier. I think grade-wise, he's probably a second-round pick. But his unique size, length, his pass rush explosiveness, combined with the ability to cover down the field, he'll be drafted quite high. Is he a complete package? No, not yet. Still needs to add some more strength and power, especially to his lower body. Most of his starts at Georgia were at in the 230-pound range. At the combine, he weighed in, I think, at like 244 pounds. But his body frame can take it. It can probably even take a few more pounds. That's what's so exciting and why he has such a high ceiling. I'd be surprised if he's there, honestly, at 19 for the Bills. But if he is and they pick him, I'd totally be okay with that. He can be used by Rex Ryan in many ways, and honestly, he wouldn't be forced to start right away. Of course, he could be used in certain packages and whatnot, but he could gain some valuable experience and knowledge from Manny Lawson. So that's it for Leonard Floyd. I'll be breaking down guys from time to time up until the draft, so